In a quaint little house, nestled at the very edge of a bustling town, there lived a small, curious cat named Whiskers. Whiskers was a sweet and gentle cat, with fur as soft as a cloud and bright, wide eyes that sparkled with wonder. Every day he would sit by the window, peering out at the world beyond. The garden, with its colorful flowers and fluttering butterflies, was familiar and comforting. But beyond the garden gate, there was a whole wide world he had never seen. Whiskers often wondered about that world, what it was like beyond the tall trees that lined the path, beyond the birds that sang in the morning, and beyond the sounds of the distant town. He had heard stories of adventures from the other animals who visited his garden, tales of faraway places, tall trees, flowing rivers, and all the wonders that lay just beyond his reach. Every time he heard these stories, his curiosity grew. He longed to explore, to see the things he had only heard about, and to discover the mysteries of the world outside his little home. One bright morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon and the world was bathed in golden light, Whiskers made a decision. Today was the day. Today he would step beyond the garden gate and explore the big, wide world for himself. His heart raced with excitement and a little bit of nervousness, but he knew this was something he had to do. He took a deep breath, puffed up his chest, and with a determined little meow, he trotted down the garden path. As soon as Whiskers stepped outside, he was amazed by how different everything looked and felt. The air was fresh and filled with new scents, crisp leaves, wildflowers, and the distant smell of the town. The path beneath his paws was cool and soft, leading him away from the safety of his home and into the unknown. Whiskers' eyes grew wide as he looked around, taking in every new sight, sound, and smell. It was a little overwhelming, but also incredibly exciting. The first stop on Whiskers' grand adventure was a small, bubbling river. He had never seen so much water before. The river danced and sparkled under the sunlight, and as Whiskers peered closer, he noticed little fish swimming swiftly just beneath the surface. They darted to and fro, moving in perfect harmony with the flow of the water. Whiskers tilted his head, full of wonder. How did they swim so fast? He wanted to jump in and join them, but he wasn't sure if cats could swim like fish. Just then, a friendly frog hopped over to where Whiskers was standing. "Hello, little cat," croaked the frog with a warm smile. "Are you new to the river?" Whiskers nodded, his curiosity piqued. "I've never seen a river before," he admitted. "And I've never met a frog either. How do you swim so well?" The frog chuckled kindly. "The world is full of mysteries, my friend. If you keep exploring, you'll learn all sorts of wonderful things. But remember, every creature is different, and we all have our own special ways of doing things." Whiskers thanked the frog for his wise words and watched as he hopped away, disappearing into the reeds. The little cat felt even more excited about what he might discover next. He continued along the path, his paws leading him deeper into the world he was only beginning to understand. A short while later, Whiskers came across a tall, majestic tree that reached high into the sky. Its branches were thick and strong, and they swayed gently in the breeze. Whiskers had never seen a tree so tall. He gazed up in awe, imagining what it must be like to see the world from way up there. As he stared, he noticed a small, busy squirrel perched on one of the branches, nibbling on an acorn. "Hello up there!" Whiskers called out. The squirrel looked down and smiled. "Hello, Whiskers. What brings you to this part of the woods?" "I'm exploring," Whiskers replied proudly. "I've never climbed a tree before, but I'd like to see what it's like from the top. Do you think I can do it?" The squirrel nodded encouragingly. "Of course you can, Whiskers. Just take it one step at a time. Climbing a tree is just like any other adventure. It takes a bit of courage, a bit of balance, and a lot of curiosity." Whiskers felt a little nervous as he approached the tree, but he remembered the frog's words and the squirrel's encouragement. Carefully, he placed one paw on the tree trunk, then another, and slowly began to climb. As he ascended, he felt the rough bark beneath his paws, the leaves brushing against his fur, and the gentle sway of the tree. It was thrilling and a little bit scary, but Whiskers didn't give up. He climbed higher and higher until he found a sturdy branch to rest on. When he finally looked out, Whiskers was amazed by what he saw. The world was even bigger and more beautiful from up here. He could see the tops of other trees, the winding river, and the distant town. Everything looked so small and peaceful. Whiskers felt a sense of accomplishment. He had done something new, something he had never imagined he could do. And it was all because he was curious enough to try. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Whiskers knew it was time to head home. He carefully climbed down the tree and made his way back along the path. The journey back felt different. He was no longer just a curious little cat, but an explorer who had seen the wonders of the world beyond his garden. He had met new friends, learned new things, and discovered that the world was full of surprises. When Whiskers finally returned home, he curled up in his favorite spot by the window. The day had been long and full of adventure, but his heart was full of joy. He couldn't wait to explore again tomorrow to see what other wonders the world had in store for him. Moral of the story: the world is a big, beautiful place, full of things to discover. Curiosity leads to learning and adventure, but it's important to be careful and take things one step at a time. Remember, little ones, always stay curious and open to new experiences. You never know what amazing things you might find.